Good morning, everyone. Dr. Todd from MoveNow back again. I'm here with Dr. Cronk from SmartInjuryDoctors. He is sitting over on that side. And this is a cool topic. This was his idea to talk about this, but it's something that a lot of you have probably heard of, know about, might be stuck in. And what's that topic, Dr. Cronk?
The topic is captive clinics. The topic is, what happens if you're already captive? I mean, I've been in the personal injury market for a long time. A lot of doctors are captive to the attorney referral sources. That means the attorneys are telling them exactly what to do, how much care they should do, what kind of diagnostics they should do. And literally patient care is being dictated by the attorney referral sources. And those clinics are afraid to go against anything that those attorney referral sources are saying to do, simply because they don't want to lose. They're captive. They're going to continue to have demands. Hey, take less of a bill, do more things. And they really actually contribute to the overall degeneration or, denigration of the injury market. And in my experience, they don't really want to be captive. They really don't. That's not their personal choice. It's just they've fallen into it business-wise, and they think it makes good business sense. The only problem is usually a professional or personal integrity. It's actually going against their personal or professional integrity. And whenever that happens, your life to some degree will spiral, even though you may not look at it as that is the cause. Anytime you're going against your own personal integrity, life will not be as good for you. But you may not see it in clinic. You may see it in your personal life. You may see it in other business ventures. You may see it in other ways.
It's interesting. As you're saying this, I'm thinking back to, I'll just say someone that I knew. Okay, I'll just say that. I'll keep it anonymous.
Yeah.
So there's this doctor who I knew that used to get a lot of personal injury cases coming in. It was from a really, high volume clinic. It was the one that had their ads on the side of the bus that said, accidente, uno, 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 dos, 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 dos. It was like just some simple number. They had people coming in, settle them cheap, stack them deep type thing. And essentially this paralegal from the attorney office was so rude and awful. And she would call into this doctor's clinic and just say, I got someone to send into you right now, make some space. And the staff was instructed, drop everything, cater to this place, take these people in right away. When they say jump, you say how high. It was the epitome of what you're talking about. They would come in and they would be seen. And the agreement was that doctor had to reduce his bill like 50+%. And so then what happens is that on the doctor end, they say, okay, well, what other kind of services can I add on here? Because I know I'm gonna have to cut them off anyway. And then at that point, it's not about taking care of the patient anymore. It's about some dirty, situation arrangement that you have with the attorney. That's why I never wanted to get into personal injury, because that kind of thing just makes me sick. And so that's back when you and I met, and then I started learning about, oh wow, there's like all these ways to be able to present this in a way that you are appealing to the types of attorneys that you want to work with, or you can even teach some of these attorneys possibly that there's a better way. Maybe they don't know. Maybe you can like pull them away from the dark side.
Right. Well, the other thing, Todd, and the reason why you and I hit it off so well is we have a shared mutual interest in the patient's welfare. The patient has to be primary. The results that you get with the patient has to be primary. I mean, that's the thing that has to drive every single procedure you do, because results-based clinics will live in the next decade. Non-results, do as many tests as you can, get them up to the pain management specialist, get them up for their ablations, get them up and run the same routine in the same routine. Those guys will be dinosaurs in the next decade. Those clinics will be dinosaurs, because there's too many cool things coming into the market that will be able to weed them out, right? Yeah. And be able to monitor results and success. So, I guess the topic we're saying, hey, captive clinics. Whenever I'm on with a captive clinic, and I always appreciate when somebody's honest, because I know they don't want to be a captive clinic. They didn't go to chiropractic school to go, okay, let me figure out how to just make money on this. They went to chiropractic school because they went, or medical school or whatever profession they're in. They went there because they really, truly, honestly want to help people. And they should be paid extremely well. And in this market, you can get paid extremely well to do a great job and get great patient results. So the same thing I always say to them is you don't have enough attorney resources or referral sources in your funnel. You're looking at one or two, and that's all you mono focused on that. And you have 60 others around you, 120 others around you, 1,000 others around you. You should be going out and getting those. The more referral sources you have, the less captive you are. And so you should be, one of the reasons we'll do the program we're doing on Saturday is to show how easily you've made it to quickly and to scale, be able to get good intros, give the attorney a good idea of what you're all about so that when they approach or when they want to visit with you, they actually have an active interest in what you're doing. And you're starting to separate because of how you market, which I said in my marketing program. Marketing is, it'll repel what you don't want. It'll attract what you do want.
Sure.
But, the way you set it up and the quality, there's one thing about marketing, but then there's another thing on the side of, hey, what's it look like? How easy is it for somebody to look at it? And you've done all those things. You put aesthetics into it and all the other things. But it makes it very easy for you to get good communication and to start to develop more referral sources so you're not captive forever.
Sure. Well, that, and I think some other variables to this is lack of satisfaction in practice of just practicing that way, of practicing in that captive way, of just going in and maybe you're making good money, or maybe you're cutting your bills so much you're still getting reimbursed a fraction of what you should per visit anyway, or whatever. But it's kind of always like, it's almost like being the guy that has like 6 girlfriends and lies to each one of the girls and tells them that they're the only one. And then every time you go out to eat, you're looking in the parking lot to see if there's another car there. It's just this uneasy feeling because at any second the whole house could crumble, right? At any second, if you have 2 attorneys who love you and this week, and then something happens where they learn something at a seminar that they can screw someone out of money even more or something, that they just flip over, go to the next guy, and you're done and you're cut off.
Yeah, and the thing of it is too, you kind of gotta, like I've learned a long time ago, and that nobody, like I've met very few people who have the total intention to screw people over. But I've met a lot of people who are so believing that what they're doing, even though it's not, it's the guy that says, oh, I got 6 girlfriends, and you're his best friend who's married, you're married and a best friend, and saying, dude, that's not a very good lifestyle. Dude, that's not a very good lifestyle. Dude, but they're so set on what they're doing is right.
Sure.
Right. That they don't believe it's wrong. However, they'll take a look at what's occurring in life for them, problem after problem after problem after problem after problem. It's the same thing in the personal injury realm. You'll have a lot of problems with that.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I was telling you last week, I connected with a buddy of mine I haven't talked to in a long time who is a personal injury attorney, and he was telling me about some things that happened in a certain city in this country where it's just standard practice that these attorneys go out, they basically pay people to drive around and look for people with car crashes. They run up to them. They promise some kind of money if they go see this attorney. Then that attorney builds a relationship with a high volume chiropractic PI practice. They send them 25 cases a month, but they want a 70% reduction. And then even some of these doctors, then at the end of it, expected to like pay some kind of kickback to the attorney. I mean, like stuff that's not legal. And in having this conversation with him, he doesn't engage in all of these practices. He has some things that he says are kind of gray areas. And I said, dude, there's a better way. There is a better way to do this. And just like you were talking about, he's not a bad guy at all. He's a great guy. But his justification is all these other attorneys around him are doing it. And that's just the standard thing to do. But there's a lot of smaller attorneys, and there's even some big attorneys that don't follow those practices,
right?
Or just don't know that there is a better way. There's a couple little tweaks they can do, and they can operate on a very high level, be beyond reproach, be able to, if it has to go to court, they can sit there in front of a jury and present what they're doing fully transparently, full disclosure, and nothing's going to look unethical or sleazy, and they just don't know that.
Right. Well, in the future, that same AI that said, hey, it'll start to dictate out who the good doctors are, that same AI technology will actually be able to root out the bad attorneys. So kind of think of like a dating service for injury patients, right? You actually go, okay, well, who's the best doctor to date? Dating in that analogy means that's going to get me the best recovery result. That doesn't mean monetary result. That means physical recovery result. Dating for the attorney is going to be, okay, how good does this attorney work? Is he just a flipper, turn it over, doesn't really know anything about the injuries that they're representing attorney, or are they a really good high-class attorney? AI will start to weed all that out in the future. The future technology that's coming down the line is just amazing. It'll be really cool for the people that are at the front of the bell curve, who will always survive. If you're an engineer that's at the front of the bell curve, you're going to survive. If you're a baseball player at the front of the bell curve, you're going to survive. If you're in the middle of the bell curve in any profession, survival's wavy, it's iffy. So for top providers, it'll be you'll love it. They'll want it because it'll just drive more traffic to their businesses.
Yeah, cool. I think this is a great topic. I think it was a good idea to touch on it. So everyone out there watching this, if you're just getting into personal injury, or you're not doing it at all and you want to, or you're stuck in this situation that Dr. Cronk's talking about, join us this Saturday. Watch what we're going to talk about. This webinar this Saturday is not going to be a big pitch fest of just talking about, hey, here's this product and we're going to tell you all the features of the product. Like, full disclosure, I built this attorney interactive video process that works awesome. If you want to use it, we're going to touch on that a little bit. Dr. Cronk has SmartInjuryDoctors program. It's an awesome program. We're going to talk about some of the different benefits of being part of that. But the bulk of this, we're going to go through just real good deliverables. And it's primarily going to be me just asking questions to Dr. Cronk and letting him go off and talk about it. He's the expert on this. I can share some of my newer experience on using these things that I've learned from Dr. Cronk that work. But he's going to be the one who's going to be pouring out all this information. So it's this Saturday. I put a link in the comments. I'll make sure that once we finish this Facebook Live that it's clear as far as how to register. Is there anything else
that
you want to mention on that?
No, I'm good. Okay. I'm good for today.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. We'll see everyone tomorrow. We got another topic tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Thanks for jumping on, Dr. Cronk.
Thank you, Todd.
All right. Cool. Bye.